Hey guys, this is Zone. I'm just going to come back here. Unfortunately, I've skipped a little bit ahead because my video camera, the power ran out, and I have my sounds turned off, and I didn't hear the audio warning that I lost power. And I don't actually look at my screen while I'm painting. I just sort of have a general painting area that I'm working in. So I'm having to skip forward a little bit. And let me go ahead and talk real quickly about what I've got going here. I went ahead and started painting some purple, and I painted a little bit more of the green and the black. His hat is this camo green that I showed you earlier by Citadel. Got Chaos Black, and this purple is actually a mixture of Lich Purple and Warlock Purple. Remember I talked about probably washing that down. Well, seeing it with the darker purple, I may not. It's not so brilliant and bright that I have to knock that down a peg, but I may still. I haven't decided 100% of where I'm going. I've also done a little bit of brown for his boots. That's actually vermin brown. But yeah, let me go ahead and continue on with what I'm doing. And again, I'll just go ahead and skip forward once I show you the basics of what I'm doing here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start with yellow. I start with yellow because it's this is Bad Moon Yellow. It's a lighter color. That means that when I go and use black later, which would be my next color, that it will not be as yellow will not affect black as much as black will affect yellow, and I'll have to clean my brush a lot more, and we'll get back to that. Now, in the first video, I talked about alternating between basically the ridges in his shoulders, and I put that camo green down in the base to give it depth so you could actually see the differences. Let me go ahead and start this. Alright. Just putting it real thin, lightly brushing it on, making sure to get all the crevices though. And I'm going to skip this one here, and I'm going to go to this top ridge. Making sure I don't go too far. Now, a lot of people online talk about not using Bad Moon Yellow, using an off yellow, because they're afraid it's going to approach too much of a bumblebee effect. And that is a very warranted concern, and it's something I did evaluate when I was making when I was getting ready to paint this guy. But the way I'm going to combat that is with that green. I think the bumblebee effect is only really prevalent when you have just two colors. If you put a third color in there, I think you'll find it will sedate the fact that you have yellow and black, yellow and black. Alright, now there's a little bit of blue here, unfortunately, that has covered this one little lobe right here, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that. I don't know how well you can see that, but I wanted to go ahead and show you that. I'm trying to get this in frame. I'm sure I'm a little bit off. Now, what I just did there, where I turned the miniature around backwards, was merely for you guys. I wouldn't necessarily recommend trying to paint from angles you can't see, but I trust what I'm doing. I don't think I'll do it too, I'll mess up too bad. And if I do mess up, I'm still very early and I can easily correct it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and skip this middle one. I'm going to go ahead and put this black on here now. Now with the black, I'm a lot more concerned about whether or not I go over, because both purple and yellow react pretty badly to having black mixed into them. When you get purple with black, what ends up happening is it turns basically into a bruise. And you can never get it out of that light color unless you go back and do it in white. So I don't want to have to go back and do that. I would if I had to. But I'd rather just spend just a little bit longer making sure I don't. Okay. Now this is basically this is block painting. If I were to take this to an art teacher at college or something, they would say that you're basically doing a three-dimensional painting within the lines. Now what you're doing is not actually true art, and to some degree I would agree. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill to go ahead and do this. It takes a steady hand and a lot of patience and maybe a little bit of thought process of what you're doing, but that goes back into color theory. Some of the stuff I'll do when I get near the end of the model, though, will be a little more technical type of painting. Alright, got one little sleeve left. Now my snakebite leather here is used way too often, and unfortunately I broke the cap off. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the cap here on screen. And all I'm doing with this is I'm going to go ahead and start touching up some of these leather bits. I probably will do some highlighting to this still, but like I talked about, I believe in my original, no, I didn't talk about this. Snakebite leather actually has a very unique ability basically to be almost a wash, just by its very nature. It reacts a lot like a wash does. You put a thin amount down and it will actually have highs and lows. I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but the lower right hand side of his bag is a different color than the middle and the top right of his bag. And the top left of his bag is actually slightly different. And the recesses are actually darkened just by themselves. This paint hasn't been thinned down to a point where it'd be like a good wash, yet it has that ability naturally within it. And I think it makes very nice leather.
What you want, what you want.